Good morning, sir.
Morning.
I'm Faria of class 9. My friend Kripa of class 7 Abbots want me to ask this question. Sir, have you been in a situation where you have felt life is colorless? If yes, some way teenagers are facing this situation due to death of their closed ones or failure in examination. Can you please guide them how to handle this situation?
Sure. Fariha, your question reminds me of a famous Telugu song, చీకటి వెలుగుల రంగేళి జీవితమే ఒక దీపావళి. Night followed by day, day followed by night. That is life. Failure is the greatest guru in this world. No teacher can be as effective as this teacher, this guru, namely failure. If one is ready to learn lessons, for sure one will be highly successful in life. One will become a leader. Success many a times is a cunning friend. Many people get carried away by early success, by easy success. There is a possibility of one becoming headstrong, proud. If one is successful, there is a possibility that that person may think, oh, I know everything. Life is all about learning, unlearning, relearning. Learning, what is unlearning? Certain things which we have learned earlier may become redundant, may become outdated, may not be useful anymore. Under such a situation, one should be ready to erase, unlearn all that one has learned. One should be ready to relearn. In other words, adaptation. People think that only students need to learn every day. No, every day for every teacher is a learning experience. When we go to class, when I'm taking a class, I learn a lot from students. Every day, by looking at what is happening around, we learn a lot. Every day is a learning experience. But the early success, the easy success, may make a person think that, oh, I know everything, I got success, and they may stop learning. If they do that, in course of time, in a few months or rather few years, they'll become outdated, they'll become redundant. Whereas failure showcases, it exposes, it shows your drawbacks. No human being is perfect. Failure exposes your drawbacks and gives you an opportunity to learn, to correct, to overcome your gray areas. Life is never colorless. Yes, as I told, there is a night, darkness, which is inevitable. Can you name a single person in the entire human history who was successful time and again? In fact, if somebody is too successful in the sense, no, if somebody gets easy success, success after success, the life will become boring. That person will be deprived of learning experience. So it is quite common. Nobody has become great without facing failures. In fact, those who faced failures, they are the ones who came up in life, who became successful, highly successful. Life is not a sprint race. What is sprint race? For example, 100-meter race. You strive out, you try your best to succeed in that sprint race. For example, SSC examination is a sprint race. You want to get 10 out of 10 in SSC. Yes, you should try. But in case you are not able to get, are you a failure? No. You understand where you went wrong. You participated in an elocution competition. Participation is not just to win the prize, it's a learning experience. Okay, if you have given your best, you will get first rank or second rank or whatever. But if you are not successful, you haven't won any prize. No need to feel disappointed. Learn from your experience. What went wrong? Why I couldn't get the prize? Why that person has got the prize? You should not feel jealous about the person who succeeded. Yes, there is something lacking in me. This kind of self introspection, self appraisal is required. Then you will learn from that person. Don't feel jealous. Learn from that person who was successful. That will add strength to your personality. You are improving your skills, you are improving your knowledge. Then 10th class, as I said, okay, you wanted to get 10 out of 10, but you couldn't get, you got lesser. What went wrong? What happened? Introspect. Then intermediate, then MSET or whatever competitive examination that you are facing. You could be unsuccessful, failure in a series of sprint races. My own example, my own life. All through my high school, I was getting first rank in those days. We used to call it as quarterly, half yearly, annual exam. How do you call the exams today? These exams? Summative assessment. Okay. So these summative exams, I was getting first rank in the whole school. But you call it my kind heart or my gullibleness. One of my classmates who was not so good at studies, there was every chance of he not being able to clear the exam. He requested me to show me my papers during the 10th class public examination. I did the costly mistake of giving my papers. One day, the examiner has caught me and there was disturbance for almost 1.5 hours. I was not allowed to write the exam. In that paper, in fact, social studies, one of my favorite subjects, I just secured just pass marks because of that disturbance. So I ended up with third rank. Then after inter, I wanted to write medical entrance. Because of underage, I was not allowed. So I was supposed to join BSc. So I wanted to get first rank in 10th class, failure. I wanted to become a doctor, failure. Later on, I wanted to become an IAS officer, failure. Then I started coaching institution. When I was in the thick of my success, 10 times state first ranks we got. Then because of circumstances at that time, when the government said now there are not going to be many competitive exams because government notifications, government recruitment is going to come down. So then I have to look for alternatives. So to sum up, I can say my life has been a success story of series of failures. I've learned from all these failures. When I was in high school, I was not able to talk properly. My speech was too fast, and people used to say, nobody can understand what you are talking. You speak with such a great speed, lack of clarity. So I have learned from my mistake. Now you know that I'm a good speaker. I participate in so many TV discussions. I'm a good teacher. So if I have taken that remark negatively, had I felt bad about it, self-deprecation, then I would have ended as a failure. So be ready to learn lessons every day. The society around you, the people around you teach lessons. There is nothing like failure in life. As I told, all these events, 10th class exam, MSET exam, or IIT, JEE exam, they're all like sprint races. You can fail in all these sprint races, but in the marathon race called life, you will be successful. If you have learnt lessons from all those failures. I'll give you some examples. One person wanted to become a doctor. She was not successful. Her friend has become a doctor. For a while she felt bad. Later on she wrote competitive exam. She got into IAS. Now she is the boss of health department. Hundreds of doctors wait for her appointment. Of course, this is not to belittle the great service of extended by doctors. It's the noble profession. I'm not talking about that. My talk is about like the status, the position. She was not successful as a doctor. Now she is the boss of all the doctors in the state. So where is failure? Who is successful? So there are hundreds and hundreds of such stories. So never feel disappointed. Life is all about going ahead. Keep learning, keep moving ahead. After a while, when you look back, you would have overtaken hundreds and hundreds of people. If your friend has succeeded in a particular event, it could be elocution competition, essay writing, or some other competition, or in some exam, don't feel bad about that person. Learn from that person. Keep learning, keep moving ahead. When at a particular stage in life, when you look back, you will understand that you are more successful than all these people. So enjoy this race called marathon race called life. Okay, Variha?
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
I'm Bhavna Rachel of 9th H Karmanghat. I've witnessed my neighbor aunt take her 3-year-old son for counseling. What is the correlation between life skills and the increasing demand for clinical psychologists?
Okay, Bhavna, I will answer your question. There is a saying in Telugu, Adusu tokkanela, Kalu kadaganela. Good old days, there were no clinical psychologists. No parent ever in the past would have taken a child to a psychologist. But today, it has become a common practice. As you said, children who are even 3-year-old are taken to psychologists. Why this is happening? This is happening because of the flaws in child rearing practices of today. The way children are brought up in that area, there are a number of drawbacks. This is mainly a class for parents. The question that you asked and the answer that I'm giving is a class mainly for the parents. Let's go back 30 years, 40 years into the history. How a child, how a kid, how an infant was brought up, toddler was brought up. Mother used to sing songs, lullaby songs for the child. Child was fed Chandamama Rave, Jabilli Rave అని పాట పాడుతూ or any such song, this is the famous song in Telugu, child used to feed the baby. Every day, bedtime stories were so popular, so common. Those days, joint family system was in vogue. So a child will get kids of his or her age to play with, to share emotions. There were elders always around. It could be grandfather, grandmother, paternal aunt, father's sister, okay, or any such people, father's brother's wife, Peddamma or Chinnamma, to take care of the babies. Repeatedly they were taught what to do, what not to do. Today, what we call as pre-primary education, nursery, LKG, UKG, almost all 75% of what is taught in pre-primary schools today were done in those joint family systems. For example, we have got Montessori activities, which are meant to strengthen the motor skills of the child, enhance eye-hand coordination, finger grip. Such like activities were very common in rural areas. Children used to play lots of games. For example, playing with clay, sand, uh, playing goti, all these things like enhancing the motor skills. When you come back home, there was always an elder, hey, do this, wash your feet, wash your hand, you should not fight with others. If somebody is going on a wrong path, telling a story. Indian literature is full of moral stories, Panchatantra, Tenali Rama, Akbar Birbal. In fact, almost 30 to 40% of ancient literature is all about teaching morals to children. Today, because of nuclear families, because in many cases both father and mother are busy in their own work, children are left to electronic devices. A mother gives a gadget, a smartphone to a 1-year-old baby and feels so proud. See, my child is able to handle the smartphone. See how smart my child is. A mother feels proud, and these electronic devices, these gadgets, they cause a lot of harm, physiological as well as psychological harm to the child. The rays, the radiation emitted by these gadgets can cause havoc with the nascent brain, nervous system and other systems of the child. Somebody may ask me now, so then why are we going ahead with this online education? Remember, parents, we have been telling time and again, kindly podcast the video lessons on a bigger screen, TV to the extent possible, minimum laptop. Don't show these videos on the smartphone to children. If required badly, in fact, even the Google Meet classes can go on laptop or desktop. But we don't want to force you to buy a laptop at this scenario. So if you are giving smartphone to the child for the Google Meet, don't give it for the video watching. Google Meet, take it away as quickly as possible. Don't leave these smartphones with the children. Children tend to play violent video games. Internet is a dark world. It is something like a blade. This blade can be used by an elderly man to shave the beard or to cut somebody's throat. So there is every possibility of children getting learning lots of negative things from this dark world of internet. So be cautious. And when children do all this, when they eat a lot of junk food, when they play violent video games, when they learn all sorts of obscene words, and their behavior becomes errant, under such a scenario, people are forced to take children to psychologist. Why can't we nip it in the bud? Why don't we tell the child what is right, what is wrong, what is permitted, what is not permitted? So if this is done time and again, in other words, in simple words, if children are brought up in the right way, there will be no need for any psychologist. Every mother, every parent, every father, every teacher should be a psychologist. In fact, elderly siblings, if you got younger brother, younger sister in your home, you should also become a psychologist. You should also tell your younger brothers and sisters what is right, what is wrong. This is called reinforcing the moral values, reinforcing the ethics among the children. This is a continuous job. It can't be done in 1 hour class or in one day. It is a continuous process. It should go on for the lifetime.
Greetings, sir. My name is Akshada Kalyankar. I'm from class 9. And my friend Ratan wants to ask me that how should children improve their concentration?
When you love what you are doing, when you like what you are doing, when you enjoy what you are doing, you will be fully involved in that. There will be no deviation whatsoever. This is precisely the reason why I tell parents time and again, when they choose careers for children, Till 10th class, of course, all of you have to read the same subjects. But after completing 10th class, you have to choose your line. Are you going to become you want to become an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer or a chartered accountant or so on and so forth. So you have to make selection. Are you going to join BPC, MPC, CEC, HEC? And now with new education policy, there are going to be many more optionals, many more choices. So in selecting a particular group and after that selecting a particular career, the aptitude of the children should be kept in mind. I love teaching. I never feel tired even after taking classes for 10 hours non-stop. Non-stop in the sense 5 minutes after 2-3 hours, a tea break, not for me but for the students. I mean, I was talking about my coaching days. There were days, for example, in Guntur, we had a branch in Guntur. One Venkateshwara Vijnan Mandir was there, a kind of big auditorium. I used to take classes for teachers, DSC examination. Morning 8 o'clock to evening 7 o'clock non-stop with just 2 breaks. Non-stop in the sense 2 breaks. So I used to enjoy and never used to feel tired because I love this job. The same me, if somebody asks me to do something which I don't like, I will not be involved in that. There will be no concentration. Everything in life, whatever you are doing, you should enjoy. Eating, for example. Many people, what they do is, while eating, they are either talking to somebody else or watching a movie or a show on TV, television channel, or doing something else, browsing or looking into their smartphone. No, that way you can't enjoy eating. What is enjoying eating? Do a simple task today. Eat curd rice. Chew the rice well. Then feel the sensation on your tongue. Feel the taste on your tongue. Even after the rice has gone inside, you will be experiencing a kind of sweet. The more you chew, the sweeter it becomes. So that's how you should enjoy eating. So involve yourself in what you are doing. Every subject is challenging. Don't try to memorize. Information without proper analysis is not important. When you are reading something, you ask question, why is it so? Why is not that way? This is called comprehension analysis. Keep asking questions for yourself. Search for answers. Then you will enjoy your studies. Then you are absolutely involved in that. You don't require special techniques for concentration. Yes, yoga helps you, meditation helps you to improve your concentration skills, no doubt about it. But if you are, in fact, I don't know yoga, I never practiced meditation, but I am fully involved in what I am doing. How am I able to do that? Because I like what I am doing. So the basic thing to be done is enjoy what you are doing. Whatever your profession, I'm talking to elders, I'm talking to parents, whatever your profession, children, slaters, whichever subject you are doing. Tomorrow when the schools reopen, it could be yoga class, it could be sports class, it could be art and craft class. Enjoy what you are doing. Then your concentration levels will be perfect.
Sir, my friend Pratima wants me to ask this question. How does an individual learn from their mistakes?
Mistakes. Whose mistakes? One's own mistakes or somebody else's mistakes? We should learn from our own mistakes as well as the mistakes of others. If we are ready to learn only from our own mistakes, the lifetime is not sufficient. You know that if somebody jumps from second floor or third floor down to the earth, one gets hurt, one gets badly injured. How do we know this? Did we learn this from our own mistake? That mistake could be very costly. So we have learned this from the mistakes of somebody else. Okay, so always be ready to learn from the mistakes of others, also from your own mistake. No human being is perfect, I just now told. with regard to failures. Mistake is nothing but a failure. No human being is perfect. We are bound to commit mistakes. When a child, when a toddler, when a 7 or 8 month baby starts walking, have you seen any child getting up and walking with style like Pawan Kalyan or Shah Rukh Khan? Impossible. How many times the child falls down? And if the mother feels, my God, my child is falling down, I will not let him or let her walk, what can happen? The child probably will be permanently crippled, right or wrong? The child may never be able to walk properly. The mother, the parents, the family lets the child learn from the mistakes. The mistake here is falling down. Life is nothing but a replica of this. Everywhere, whatever you are doing, every day you are bound to commit mistakes. Yesterday, while recording, I was looking more at students, and the cameraman told me, sir, if you look at the camera, because this is online class, the viewers, like it will appear that you are looking into the eyes of the people who are watching the program, I mean the students as well as parents. So I committed that mistake in my yesterday's first part. Today I have learned from that mistake. Somebody pointed out, I am ready to learn from that mistake. So probably today's class is more impressive in terms of its visual content, my body language, than yesterday's class. So keep learning lessons every day. Mistake, a failure is a great teacher. Okay?
So, what are the skills needed for a person to reach his goal?
His goal, not her goal. Okay, his oblique her. Okay, because I mean our whole society is even today more inclined towards masculine gender. So in our speech everywhere, this gender bias, we should get rid of this gender bias. Okay, understood what I said? Okay, that's not a big issue for this time being. Okay, what are the skills required to become successful, to reach the goal, that is being successful? First of all, one should have a dream. Dare to dream, care to achieve, said APJ Abdul Kalam. First of all, you should have a dream. I want to become this. I mean, probably no other organism on this earth is capable of dreaming, imagining, visualizing what can happen. I want to become a doctor. I want to become an engineer. I want to become a CEO of a company. I want to become Prime Minister of our country. I want to become a great scientist. You dream whatever your passion, your. First of all, dare to dream. Then care to achieve. If your dreams, I mean your dream should not end as daydreams, పగటి కలలు అంటారు తెలుగులో. అలా కాకుండా if they have to సాఫల్యం కావాలంటే, if they have to become a reality, then what is required is, number one, planning. You plan everything. Time management. What I should do today? I want to become a doctor. So I am in 8th class now. I am in 9th class now. What I should do? I should focus more on studies. I should enjoy my studies. I should be physically fit. I should acquire creative skills. This way, you will understand what is that you need to do. So keep doing that. Planning, execution, time management, more than anything else, belief in yourself. Many people, in spite of having all the skills, they are not successful. They can't reach the goal for the simple reason that they don't believe in themselves. My God, I can't do this. I mean, my abilities, my resources are not sufficient, they feel. This is incorrect. One should always be confident. Believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, who else in this world is going to believe in you, have faith in you? Just question yourself. There is nothing like impossible in this world. If there is a will, there is always a way. Believe in yourself. Many children think, my memory is not good, my understanding skills are not good, my communication skills, either oral or written, they are not good. They think this way. Okay, you have identified your problem, good. Then you should try to overcome it. I'll give you a simple example. If I'm asking children, Fariha, if I'm asking you to start running from here to your home, which is located at Karman Ghat, can you really run? You can't, isn't it? You feel we are now at Panjagutta in Hyderabad. Karman Ghat must be around 12-13 kilometers, your home. My God, 12 kilometers. I'll fall. That's what you think, isn't it? You feel your energy levels are not sufficient, you don't have adequate strength. Then imagine yourself, we have gone to, say, Nallamala forest on a field trip. Now we cannot go because school, normal circumstances. Imagine you have gone to Nallamala forest. Okay, and everybody got back into the van. The van has started. Unfortunately, on that day, the teacher has not noticed that you are not boarded the van. You are looking around, you are observing things, and suddenly you realize that your friends have left, vans have left, there is nobody around, and you spot a tiger close to you. Now tell me, what will you do? What you will do? Tell me, children, imagine yourself, parents or children, tell me what you will do. You will start? You will start running. How many kilometers you can run now? Keep running, keep running, keep running. Your footwear may come out. Your clothes may get torn. But till the time you escape, till the time you feel you are safe, you will keep running. It can be 10 kilometers even without water. How is that possible? Energy is there. Under normal circumstance, your mind tells you, hey, you can't do this, you can't do this. It brings you down. But at that point of time, when tiger is chasing you, your only aim, your only focus is on escaping, is on running away, running into the safety zone. So, the fact that your footwear has come out, the fact that a thorn has gone into your feet doesn't bother you. This is human brain, this is human body, this is human physiology as well as psychology. Anybody can do that. So, believe in yourself. In fact, Slaters, are you practicing NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming? Last year, remember, we used to make you tell every day, I can do this. Imagine yourself what you want to do. If you feel there are certain areas where you need to improve, then write it on a paper. Keep telling yourself, I can do, I can do, I can do, I can do. You will be able to do. This is called neuro. You are programming your mind. You are getting rid of negative thoughts. You are filling your brain with positive instructions. Once upon a time, as I told some time ago, I was never a good speaker, but I thought I am going to be a good speaker. I am able to speak well. I am able to speak well. When I programmed my mind this way, now I got rid of that inferiority complex, that kind of negative feelings. Now I am able to do. So, dare to dream, care to achieve.
What role does life skills play in our daily lives?
All these years, of course, Slate and such like institutions are an exception. I'm talking about majority of the schools and colleges in India even till today. You ask any child, I'm not talking about Slaters, I'm not talking about Slate family members, parents. You ask anybody outside, majority of them will come out with one answer for this question. What is that question? Why are you studying? What is the purpose of reading, studying? They will, a class 6 or class 7 or any class child will instantly answer, I want to write exams. I want to secure good marks. So, you are reading, you are studying for the sake of exams, for the sake of marks, for the sake of ranks, for the sake of getting through a competitive exam and getting a job. This is education is all about till today in India. Unfortunately, these examinations mostly they test the memory of the student. They test the information base of the student. If a student is able to memorize a lot and able to blurt it out, puke it out on the answer sheet in the exam hall, బాగా బట్టి కొట్టి వాక్ అని వాతెత్తుకుంటాం అంటే ఐఎమ్ పుట్టింగ్ ఇట్ ఇన్ ఎ సర్కాస్టిక్ వే. If the person is able to transfer all this onto the exam, the answer sheet, the more information the student has presented, the more marks he or she will secure. So higher marks, higher grades and life. But the world has changed a lot during the last 30 years, much before your birth. In fact, to be precise, 1991 was the landmark year in the history of India as well as the world. The process of globalization, privatization has begun. Private companies, I'll put it in simple words. Think that you are running a hospital. You want to recruit a doctor. There are two candidates, A and B. A candidate has studied in a very good reputed medical college, say for example CMC Vellore or Armed Forces Medical College Pune or such like medical college, where in course of his or her studies, this medical graduate has attended to the clinical duties, surgeries, examining patients. He has attended to hundreds and hundreds of patients. So a lot of practical knowledge. Whereas the other one from a newly established private medical college, where a lot of copying, malpractices have taken place. The candidate A with a lot of practical knowledge has got only 75% marks, because there in that college the evaluation, everything was strict. Whereas this man, he hardly has caught the pulse of, checked the pulse of one patient, but he has secured 90%. 75% A, B 90%. Which person will you select for your hospital? A or B? You answer now. I am very sure if it is your hospital, you will only select A, because you don't care about the marks, you care about the practical knowledge. Understood? The whole world is the same today. People want your real knowledge, not just memory. In fact, with the advent of information technology, the importance of memory has drastically come down. Today, bundles, loads, gigabytes of information is available at your fingertips. Take a smartphone, check with Google, check with YouTube. It answers. There is in fact nothing that Google cannot answer. And tomorrow, the world already, the process has begun. World is going to be taken over by artificial intelligence, robots. They can store million times more information than human brain. Can you compete with those machines in terms of storage, process, retrieval of information, memory? You can't. Whereas knowledge, real knowledge, in terms of life skills, what are life skills? The skills which enable you to lead a happy life. Self-confidence, understanding others, humility, leadership quality, creative thinking, critical thinking, cross-cultural competency. There are so many skills. In fact, for the last right from the beginning of the slate, right from year 2001, we have been focusing on imparting life skills among the children. As a person who taught so many batches of civil services people, have trained people for preliminary, mains as well as interview, civil services examination, many parents keep asking me, sir, I want my child to get into IAS, what should be done? IAS is not about preparing, taking up a particular book and reading that and noting down. Of course, that is required in the last phase, last 10 months. Right from this age, what needs to be done is strengthen the life skills of children. When we ask children to read books, general books, we are emphasizing on comprehension skills, analytical skills, application skills. When we ask children to write their daily diary, we are focusing on improving their written skills. When we conduct various activities, when we conduct various field trips, taking children to a old age home, taking children to a farm, all this are meant to expose them to the everyday life, to the nuances of life. So life skills is all important. Education without life skills is nothing. So children, keep learning. When you read books, think of it. Just don't try to memorize. Think of it. What is this? Why it should be that way? Why it should not be that way? All these things. So life skills are important, and the new education policy has emphasized on this.